So thank you guys for hopping on this call and listening to us today for our Tuesday workshop. Mustafa is out for today. He might hop on here later, but his internet was not doing so good. So I will be taking over for him with, of course, Cohen with us on the call as well to help us of what we're going to be talking about today. Cohen, what are we going to be going over today for this workshop?
We're going to be going over how to create your own sales campaign for your
Nice.
business. And we're going to be using one of our clients' sub accounts as an example, just to show you how we got them up and going.
Sounds good. Awesome. Let me go ahead and show you what theirs look like, and then I'll let Cohen take over the whole format. Cohen, if you do have any questions, feel free to let me know, and I'll be glad to chime in to give my opinion on things as well. So, if we go into, if I go into the right account, this is one that we just did recently for a client. So, if we go into their pipeline opportunities, they currently have theirs set up. This is more made mainly for insurance companies. How it's set up is like they have a deferred list of people that they're not interested, but they're still keeping them in the funnel just for newsletters and stuff like that, just in case they become a potential client later down the road. They have their cold lead section, like people they have never sent a message to, but they just want to make sure that they are going to be someone they'll reach out in the future. People that they contacted, people that they know open their emails, people that they know click their emails, people that reply to their emails, people that they have personally marked as hot leads into the system by a numbering system. And we'll go more in depth on that. And then obviously they have some other features as well, like for follow-up, booked appointments, one-on-one interviews, final interview, and they go really in depth on this all the way across the finish line, and also for lost as well. So, with that being said, with all this, there is a lot of automations built into it as well, just to make sure everything is working properly. So if we go into this one, we'll see that there is almost a automation for each pipeline to help it go to the next step. And then on top of that, we do have a 7 email drip campaign, which Cohen's going to go very in depth in, just to show where they're at in the process and what's going to happen on throughout the weeks on end. So with that being said, I'm going to go over and send it over to Cohen so that way he could talk about it.
A lot of the stuff that we're going to be going over has to do with some of our previous topics with our workshop. So, first things first, we're going to be going over the opportunity board. Now, we did go over the creation of the opportunity board, so this is the exact same thing as last time. We have the one that we created from scratch, and this is called LIC Agent Leads. And it's very straightforward, deferred, coldly contacted, open, clicked, replied, hot lead, followed up with booked appointment, one-on-one interview, final interview to get started, pending ICA code, and so on. This is basically just to describe what the client stage is at, how interested they are with our services, and so on. So you have your opportunity board created just to organize your clients and have a brief overview as to how interested they are with you. And then with that, we want to go into the actual sales campaign. So next we want to go to our automations. And here we have our automation page. We're going to go into our folder called Sales Pipeline. And then start with number 1, leads contacted. So click on this. So here we have whenever we have a client that we are contacting, we want to add the tag lead to them. So we're going to assign the lead to this automation. And you will be able to do that within their profile within OBM tools. So on this very first one, we would want to add tag lead, then go to make our next action, which is create opportunity, put them in the LIC agent leads pipeline. And then we would want to go to our if else. Does the client have an email? If yes, email is not empty. If no, so on. And then we would want to make our next section add to drip campaign, and then put them into the 7 email drip campaign. Now, Oren, do you want to explain what the 7 email drip campaign is?
Sure, if you want me to. So basically, what he's referring to is you just select all the clients that you want to have inside that campaign. You click on Add to Automation. You find that specific one, which is called 001 lead contacted or whatever you call the automation. And it will automatically get put into that funnel that Cohen just mentioned, where it tags them as lead, put them onto the opportunity board, and then add them into the drip campaign. So that way you can start the process. So that'll be the initial step that you need to do to make the process start. So, with that being said, let's go into automations and let's talk about the 7 drip email campaign. Let me go back in here. We'll go to sales pipeline. By the way, you might not have these folders. It's going to be a little bit different on yours, however way you want to customize it. We like to try to organize it with folders so that way we can easily find it. But any way that you want to organize your automations, how you want to set up the automations, really up to your preference. So inside of here, we got the 7 email drip campaign. As soon as we put them through that automation, it's going to send them to this 7 email drip campaign, which the first thing is it's going to put into a drip mode. Now, obviously, we don't want to send 60,000 emails all at once. That's going to get your email blacklisted in a heartbeat. So we want to put it out into a drip format. So right here, it's a little bit more aggressive. There you go. This one's a little bit more aggressive than I normally would. We normally try to keep it at 1 per minute or even less than that, especially if it's going to a cold email campaign. For warm, you could definitely do it a lot more at a time because they already know you. They're not going to unsubscribe, whereas a cold, they're more likely to unsubscribe from you. So it's always good to have a very low batch size per minute or even a longer time period if possible. Once they go through this drip feature, they'll do 5 per minute and they'll get the first email, which is something like this. We do have links inside of there as well, which we're tracking these links, which we'll talk about in just a second. And then we'll update it inside the opportunity board from cold to contacted, because if they got this email, we now know they've been contacted. We'll wait 1 day, and we have it set for Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. You can set these time limits inside of here by clicking Advanced Windows and choosing Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday between 9 to 5. Or if your whole automation is going to be set that way, you could always click on Settings at the top and then choose it up here. So that way it will always stay within that guideline, even if you forget to put that in somewhere in the automation. This is like the safety net. The last thing you want is to send a text message at like midnight on accident. So that's why I always recommend putting these types of parameters in place. So that way you don't accidentally do something like that. So going back to the 7 email drip campaign, it'll update into the opportunity board, wait 1 more day, and then do another drip sequence of 5 per minute and send out a second email. And then it's going to wait 2 more days. So 2 business days. So let's say we send it on Monday, it'll send the second email on Tuesday, and then it'll send the third email on skipping Wednesday to Thursday. And then it'll do another drip, making sure that it's 5 per minute, and then send the third email. And this is just this very simple email campaign that you're just consistently hitting your target audience for a set time period, watching to see if they're clicking, if they're opening, if they're replying, to see if there's any type of interaction. So that way, if you have a list of 10,000 people, you don't have to reach out to all 10,000. You just reach out to the people that seem to be the most interested in your software or whatever service that you're offering. Okay, so we're at, let's see, 1, 2, 3. So now we're into our 4th email, 2 business days later. He wanted to set for Saturday, so we're also going to include Saturday as well. But you could set it however way you want. So if this was on Thursday, it will go out on Friday, Saturday. So this one will go out on Saturday if we started on a Monday. And then they'll get this email right here. If you didn't notice, there are these little values in there. This will automatically put that person's name in there. In this case, it would be Hi Smith. Why they wanted to do that, I try to tell them, but that's up on them. Some people are different. But you could put any type of custom values in there, whether it be their first name, last name, email, phone, even their full address or state. So let's say that, hey, I know you're the best in Florida. You could put that custom value in because you know they're located in Florida. Something like that. Then you wait another 2 days, and then it just does another drip just to play it safe. And then it will send an email. Now, After that, we did a little bit something different on their campaign where it actually did a voicemail drop. The nice thing about this is, number one, it's notifying them. It's like, hey, did you see the email that you just got from us? Please check your inbox. Number one, they'll see that. They'll get a voicemail. Number two, you don't have to personally leave a voicemail for everyone. You just do this option, make a recording of yourself leaving a voicemail, and you could put this into your campaign, saving you time and effort. Number one, two things are going to happen. Number one, they're going to check the voicemail and see, oh, I got a voicemail from XYZ company. I wonder what it says. They'll listen to it. Or number two, although how the voicemail drop works is it rings twice onto their phone. The first time is a quick ring, and then the second time is another ring that will automatically send them to their voicemail. So they'll see that they got a missed call, and then also a voicemail. So if they see a missed call, they'll call you right back saying, hey, I just got a missed call from you. Some people like that because that way the customer is initiating the call rather than personally, because I know there is a lot of people out there that just can't make phone calls. And I mean, I was one of them. So instead, you just flip the script around where that person calls you instead. Another thing that you could do on top of it that we actually set up for them, we're not going to show it in this campaign, is actually set up a voice AI agent. So whenever they do call, instead of you talking to them personally, especially if you're doing like a 10,000 email list, you don't want to be answering 10,000 phone calls either. So instead of you answering those phone calls, you could have the voice AI agent answer those phone calls for you and try to make that sell for you, whether it's booking the appointment, booking a calendar event, or just gathering their information if they're interested. So something like that you could do. Then after that, we wait 3 more days and then do another drip for another email. And then we do a final. This one was a 7 email drip, so we did 7 emails in total, where they did 1 day, 1 day, 2 days, 2 days, 2 days, 3 days, I think it was, and then the last one was 4 days out, just to send a final checkup. And then we also have them into a wait 180 days. The reason why is just in case we want to add on to this drip campaign, we at least have them held right here in that section. So all we would have to do is, let's say, send an email. Okay, cool. Boom, 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 save. Then all we would have to do is click on these guys, select all of them, and then move selected contact into the next step. So that way we could keep the process going over and over again. So that's all. That's just a holding area for the time being in case we want to add on to the campaign. And that's it right there. So if we go back, one of the things that we brought up is at the beginning when they first get the initial email, we did update on the opportunity board just to show you that. Basically what is happening is as soon as they're moved into cold leads and they get that initial email, once they get that initial email, they automatically move into contacted. Now the nice thing is we're also tracking opens, clicks, and replied inside this campaign. How we're doing that is through these automations right here. Let's look at them really fast. We had lead open email. So basically we're tracking to see it's like email event is opened in the workflow 7 email drip campaign. If it meets that criteria, automatically move into the open stage. Same thing for the next one, lead click. So if we see that the event inside the email, they clicked on something in the email inside the workflow 7 email drip campaign, it will automatically move them into the clicked stage as a perfect example. Finally, when leads reply, this one I think was a little bit different, maybe not. Okay, cool. So a little bit different, but not much. The reply channel was email rather than the event was an email. The reply channel was email, and they were replying to a workflow from the 7 email drip campaign. Boom, it automatically moves them to the replied stage. So that way is a very easy way to keep track of which ones are opening, which ones are clicking, and which ones are replying as well. Now, the last one is hot leads.
I can go over this one, Warren.
The hot lead one, the engagement
Yes.
score.
Yes.
Sounds good.
So is in general just another way to keep track of is just another way of keeping track of your clients and their overall interest in your business. So very first thing you'll see is the trigger contact engagement score greater than or equal to 6. I will go over that in just a second. It branches off. Is it a lead already? No. And there, if yes, continue. Create update opportunity. We will move it up into hot lead, send an internal notification to someone within the business, one of your employees, and so on. But what we want to move down to is the SMS. Here we have the regular automated message that will be sent out after 5 minutes after the tag being added. Here you will see this thing right here called trigger link, REW, so on. Now, what this is basically an automated, similar to the custom values that Warren was going over previously, how you can automatically add the contact's name. This automatically adds in a link that you so choose from your library of trigger links. And the way that you can do that is by going into your subaccounts marketing tab, go down to trigger links, and here we have an entire list. We can add another link, enter the name of the link itself, and then put in the link URL. And that way we just have the custom value for the trigger link, and we just paste that in to whatever we need for our automated sales campaign. So you can just save it for later and just paste it whenever you need it.
So why would you do that?
For simplicity, as well as just general automation. But do you have another idea?
It's basically used for trigger links are used for automation. So whenever someone clicks on that trigger link, you can now make that the trigger of a specific automation of your choice.
Okay. And now going back up here to contact engagement score, what you need to do is go to your subcount scanning and manage scoring. Now, this is just another way to keep track of your client's engagement level, how interested they are into your service, what services they are interested in, and basically keep a point system on them. What we have right here is a few actions already made. If a contact clicked trigger link dash I decide, which is one of the trigger links that we have made right here, you get to add 1 point. If a contact clicked trigger link 15-minute calendar Zoom, which means they are interested in a Zoom call with you, then add 8 points to increase their engagement level. And it's a very simple system to use. If a click on an action that you would like to add, say they submitted a form, and then the form is whichever form you want to choose. Let's do Paul's. You get to choose how many points are added, so let's just say 10, and then you would hit save, but for right now I'm going to hit cancel, and there you can keep track of your client's engagement levels. Just another way to keep things organized and just see how interested people are and which services they are interested in.
Now, with that being said, that is completely flexible up to you. They specifically want to have a hot lead be marked as anything above 6 or above. So in some cases, that might be a little bit too low. Some people might want it at 20 or 30, depending on what your scoring system is. If that's the case, then obviously you change it to whatever works best for you. So, for example, an open could be 1 click or 1 point. A click could be 2 points. A reply could be 3 points. If someone booked the appointment, well, that should be right there a hot lead at that point. So whatever your scoring system is, you make it whatever that point it needs to be. So that's what I would recommend in that situation.
But yeah, I just wanted to go over the importance of trigger links and customer engagement, which is also another feature within OPM tools.
So there is 2 more things that I wanted to show. So let me go ahead and show that really fast. So one thing is the automation he was just showing is if they meet that criteria on the score, it would automatically move them from whatever section they were in, whether it be contacted, open, clicked, or replied, all the way over to hot leads, showing that, hey, this is a hot lead. We need to contact them. So whatever is in this list right here, they need to reach out to them. It's like, hey, saw that you're interested. What can we do? Or what Cohen was showing, you automatically just send the text message anyway saying, hey, we saw that you're interested. Just want to talk more to see if you want to schedule a meeting or something. One more thing I want to add is we do have an automation set up in place for booked appointments as well. So let's say right when they get contacted. They end up clicking the link that says book an appointment, and they end up booking the appointment. Then it would automatically move them all the way to book an appointment as well. In fact, let me make sure that they have the automations for that. Sales pipeline. Yep, there it is. So lead booked appointment. Whenever they actually book an appointment onto his calendar, and they have the tag lead, by the way, it will automatically update them onto the opportunity board as booked appointment, and it will remove them from the 7 email drip campaign as well. Because now that they have already booked an appointment, there's really no reason why you try to keep selling on them, because they've already booked the appointment. They have already done the action that you wanted to do for the email drip campaign. So that's a great example right there. And finally, there is other ways that you can use it as well, even farther. So for example, proposal sent. If you're actually using the proposal feature inside the software, you can have this be a trigger as well, as whenever they actually send the document over to the client, it will automatically see if it was marked as lead, and then update into the opportunity board called final interview to get started, or for you guys, maybe as proposal sent. And then you could also check to see if they sign the document. If they sign the document, you can mark it as 1 or send an invoice. So there's so many different ways you could do it. This is just a example that one of our clients did. I figured it'd be a great idea just to show a visual example of how to do stuff like this. So maybe that will get the cogs turning in your head of how you could do it inside your office as well. Now, with that being said, I do 2 things I want to bring up. Cohen, can you just talk about support? And then we can ask any if anyone has any questions, we could talk about that as well.
And one of those things that I wanted to go over regarding the engagement management, there is a way to add that to your automations as well. You can add it as a trigger. So if you click on new trigger and click on engagement score, add filters.
Oh, yeah.
Score equals to, let's say 6, like you were saying. And then we can make an automation where if we have a new contact that is engagement score of 6, then we can start a specific automation for them as well. So that's just another way to personalize things. Yeah, as Oren was saying, we do have a 24/7 support system set up for y'all. So there's submit request where you can, if you're having an issue with your sub account and you would like maybe want to add some changes, or you're just not understanding something, this is where you want to go. Fill out all the fields accordingly, and we would be more than happy to start a meeting with you, or just schedule a support meeting here as well. And it'll take you to our calendar form where you can decide to set up a meeting with one of us. Or if you're more do-it-yourself, there is the support knowledge base, where it's just a library of knowledge available to you. Everything that has to do with OPM tools, you can learn anything and everything about the system here. So if you want to figure things out on your own, or you're just generally curious about the system, this is where you would want to go. I think that's everything. Do you want to add anything else, Warren?
Thank you guys so much for hopping on. To answer your question, Michael, yes, it is being recorded, and we normally post it out within a week after. So sometime beginning of next week, it should be on our YouTube channel. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, thank you so much for your time, and I will talk to you soon. Bye, guys.